Hello YouTube and welcome to my latest video breaking down the holiday store crystals. Now there's a new event, side event among the many, Spider-Ham back on air, where if you complete the quest and it's 100% or just by completing the first run, you get these special Epoch shards which will let you buy special holiday store crystals from the holiday store. Well, it's obvious. So, Kabam previously announced that you'd be able to spend the shards as shown, and there'll be three types of crystals. And there'll be a premium equivalent, which everyone can get, a Grandmaster that's tied to you being at least, I think, uncollected, and a Cavalier version that you have to be at least Cavalier to get it. Now, there's clearly so Kabam has actually split it into about 7 different types of crystals, each sorted by the year of release. Okay, I know there are 6 years of since MCOC went on air. Okay, so what I think happened was Kabam split the first year into two because we have a Providence crystal and an ANNUM crystal. So think of it as year 0 all the way up to year 6. And you're probably thinking like, okay, so what should I go for? What crystals would be the best value for me? And that is really subjective because what I want may differ from what you want, but within each pool we can tell there will be certain pools that stand out from the others because they simply contain more god tier champs. Although if you have a specific champion you're looking for, and like say you want to get Nick Fury, then of course I would suggest you go straight down and go to the Quadrennium crystal right here, which will contain all of the 2018 champs. Then, oh sorry, Nick Fury's 2019, silly me. The 2019 champs, and he'll be right in there for you. So let's go through these crystal by crystal, and I will be using the Cavalier crystals as an example, but if you're not Cavalier, you can still use the others as a general gauge of whether or not it's worthwhile. So starting with the Provenance crystals, which contains what looks like to be all of the champions that were available when the game first launched. And I gotta say, this is a mostly underwhelming crystal. You still got guys like OG Iron Man, OG Captain America, Storm, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, Abomination, Classic Spider-Man. None of these are really good. I mean, there's some champions which I would recommend. Like okay, Colossus is great. He's available as a 5 and 6 star in this crystal. It also looks like we should be able to get a 5-star Wolverine or a 5-star Scarlet Witch. Now, that is quite tempting because they're still pretty rare. Wolverine is in the current featured 5-star crystal, but if you could get him from here, you'd save a lot of 5-star shards trying to pull Wolverine. Likewise, Scarlet Witch, I think she's only been released a few times in the crystal store, or as a cash offer champion to get via certain types of crystals. That's so if you want those two, I suggest you get these because this will probably be your best chance at getting them since the pool is much smaller. Star-Lord is still pretty good. I would recommend him if you haven't gotten him as a 5-star. And actually looking at it, I think he's also available as a 6-star in this crystal. So it's really those three champions, Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, and Star-Lord, whom you should go for if you intend to buy these crystals. Next will be the ANNUM crystal, which ought to be all of the all the champions released in the first year of the game. And I have to say that, can I just point out that this is confusing as heck. I mean, the Providence ones are all lined up, and then the ANNUM one suddenly it skips a few crystals before you get to the Cavalier one. That's very confusing, Kabam. I don't know why you did it that way. That is simply irritating. So let's look at it. It's 2015 champions, like the ones in the Provenance ones, suffer from the issue of them simply being left by the wayside as the game has evolved in complexity and new nodes and mechanics coming in, and they're just not equipped to handle it. So having said that, who should you go for if they're in this crystal if you intend to get it? So Magneto, the red Magneto would be good. House of X Magneto is fine, I hear, but really the red one is the best. He's really going to be help you so much in clearing content in the game. Venom, great choice. He's going to be good for variant 5, variant 2, clearing those annoying spider champions that dodge. They're going to dodge you every move. Hulkbuster is a good choice if you can go for it, but other than that, it's mostly mediocre stuff. Luke Cage is good, but I wouldn't go for it. Magic, okay, Magic, yes, I forgot her. She is fantastic, one of the best power control mystic champs in the game. If you don't have her, you can try to get her here. Just take note she's not available as a 6-star. Likewise, there's a 5-star Black Widow in here, so that might be one reason to go for it. You want an OG Black Widow, she's still decent, but maybe you just want to collect her, then you can go for her. Spider-Gwen, that is good too, but I think that pretty much rounds up who you can really look forward to getting in this crystal. If not, you can probably get an Iron Patriot if you're really unlucky. So that concludes year 0 and year 1. Let's go to year 2, which is again irritatingly next to this one. So this should be the 2016 champs, and I have to say that the best champion in this pool is not even a 6-star, she's a 5-star, and that's going to be Quake. If you want Quake, that's really go for it. She's arguably one of the top 2 champions in the game, the other being Ghost. And other than that, in here you have god tiers like She-Hulk, who is also a 6-star now. That's a good. Ghost Rider, those of you who have a 5-star Blade and you want a 5-star Ghost Rider, you can try for it here. You can also go for Hyperion. Honestly, I think he'd be the best champion in this crystal, if not for the fact that Quake jumped in front of him. Buff Falcon is inside if you want to try him out. So is Gambit. A Rogue is decent. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Voodoo is inside. Yeah, how can I forget? He's still a good Mystic champion. Good power control, and his what do you call that? His Spirit Venom does a lot of damage. Yeah, not a great pool overall, but it's mostly being carried by the likes of Quake and Hyperion. If you're looking for those, go for this crystal. Next up will be the TRIENNIUM crystal. That should be the year 3 champions, and this is I have to say this is a pretty good pool, at least looking from my perspective, because I can see there's a Blade. I already have Blade Duke, but if you don't have Blade and you want him, just go for it. He's still a very good champion for clearing content up to about Act 5. Act 6 is when he just drops off a cliff because of the fact that there aren't so many champions out there which can, in Act 6, which allow him to trigger his danger sense, but he's still useful for me from time to time in monthly event quests, side quests, when there's a villain champion or anyone that triggers his danger sense. Star Enhanced Spider-Man's in here, fantastic tech champ, and going to be a great help for you endgame players doing variant 2 and 3. Sorry, not variant 2 and 3. Variant 3 and 5. Yeah, variant 2 is the XL champ one. Medusa, still one of the queens of the cosmic class. She's still the robot killer for me. Iceman, double immunities champion that isn't a robot, which is going to be useful for that node, which I can't remember, that converts poison damage into shock if you are a robot, and you wouldn't be normally immune to it. Dark Oak is good if you know how to use him. Archangel is in here, and he's a 6-star. So if you want your 6-star Archangel, go for it. If he bleeds, Archangel is your man. Even if he's poisoned, even then it would still be good enough. Yeah. Overall, I'd say most of the champions in 2017 warrant at least a good look at. The worst ones would probably be like King Groot, Thor Ragnarok, Hela, Taskmaster, because look at all the mutants here. Psylocke, Archangel, Iceman, Cable, all can be boosted with the Horseman synergy to become God tier champs, even if they weren't God tier to begin with. So that's something to bear in mind. There are really no bad mutants here if you can get an Apocalypse to boost them. Next will be 2018, where I have to say the pool significantly improves. You already get winners like Aegon, Captain America, Infinity War, Corvus Glaive, Darkhawk, Domino. Seriously, the first 6 names, 5 of them are already God tier. There's Hulk Ragnarok, good against Degen and overall strong champion. Sentinel is going to be one of your MVPs for Variant 2, and you will need him for Variant 3 because Variant 3 is geared towards you using Sentinel. Ghost, remember when I said Quake was one of the top two champs? Yeah, she's the other one. Omega Red, Emma Frost, Symbiote Supreme, Venom, all great choices for you to get and add to your roster if you don't already have them. Especially if you want to awaken your 6-star Omega Red, and we all know how hard it is to dupe a 6-star, so why not just try this and get dupe of your 6-star Omega Red or even your Aegon, because I have a 6-star Aegon. I'm really tempted to go for this one. Yeah, I actually might go for 2018 just to see whether I can dupe my Aegon. Next, 2019 is, in my opinion, the best overall pool. If you're not looking for any specific champions, I say 2019 is the best one because you get guys like Thing, Havoc, Nick Fury, Human Torch, Cull Obsidian, Namor, Spider-Man Stealth Suit, Sunspot, Warlock, Black Widow Clairvoyant, Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing, Doctor Doom, Captain Marvel movie. I think that's nearly half of the champions here are god tier straight away. If this were a featured crystal, you'd go for it. You'd just know it. I mean, I actually would likely go for this one, just because probability says I'll probably get a good god tier 5-star or 6-star if I'm lucky enough to pull one. And last but not least will be the SEXENNIUM crystal, which will cover all the champions released this year. Now, Spider-Ham is in here, and that is pretty tempting because then you can actually just skip the what do you call that? The early access bundle if it comes out this month, because if you want a new Spider-Ham, this is really your best chance. If not, there are still god tiers in here like Apocalypse, Professor X, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Abomination Immortal, Mojo, Longshot, all great champions, but it's just telling that there's not the rest of the champions in here, they're not bad champions. In fact, some of them are good, but they're not great. They're not great like 2019 champions, but they're just all around god tiers have a lot of utility. I mean, Squirrel Girl isn't bad, but I just can't bring myself to really rank her up above guys like Nick Fury, Aegon, or even Blade. Dragon Man is supposed to be good, but I don't really use him much. But even then, I'm still not. I just don't see much usage for him over, say, Doctor Doom, unless I'm trying to get around immunities. But that's just my opinion. I haven't used him much, as I've said. If you have used him and you disagree, you would think Dragon Man is great, you can just put him in. And then there's some misses like Airwalker, Terrax. A lot of the Heralds of Galactus simply aren't very good, except for Cosmic Ghost Rider. His damage is quite crazy. Guardian is probably a good choice, but overall I'd say this is a step down from 2019. But I understand why they aren't as good, because Kabam, I think, wanted to have some balance. They couldn't keep introducing new god tiers every year, and then it would just keep feeding into a very unhealthy power creep that would just slowly but surely ruin the game, because your champions would maybe every couple of years become obsolete. Yes, so well, what should you go for in the end? So if I had to rank it, I'd say go for 2019, 2018, 2020, 2017, 2016, 2015, and then the 2015 launch day champions. Of course, as I've said, if you already have somebody you want to go for, just go for it. And you can just ignore my advice, because really, this is just my own opinion. But if you don't have any champions you're really looking out for, you can consider what I've just said and factor it into your decision making when you do decide to buy these crystals. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.